Welcome to another episode of Inside Crypto, where from a hedge fund's perspective, I'll show you how the big players try to shake you out of your positions and profit from your orders. So how does it show this? And what does it show? What's jumping around here? I'm showing this based on position liquidations. That is, how hedge funds, big players, investment funds, and major market participants move the market to force you out. Or not you, hopefully not you, but people are forced out of their positions through liquidation, meaning triggering stop losses, or even not just stop losses, but forced liquidations when investors run out of margin. So now let's see what happened last week with Bitcoin. Here we've clearly marked the significant level I was talking about with a prominent horizontal line. You can definitely see it right here, can't you? As I previously mentioned in the last episode, this is indeed a truly huge and very important level that will undoubtedly attract a great many discerning investors. I genuinely can't imagine for a moment that they absolutely wouldn't reach this crucial point, because it truly stands out far too much above the current level. The competition for taking short positions here is low, because this supply line isn't very high, while at the same time the accumulation of liquidations is huge, so it's a massive temptation. A temptation, and that's exactly what happened. As you can see, this level acted as resistance, and it worked beautifully, you have to admit. And the second level I mentioned was 113,000, but they didn't reach it. Actually, they were far from it, they missed it by a lot. That's this level here, maybe next week. So let's see how it looks for the coming week, whether those positions are still there to be liquidated. As you can see, not quite. The positions, the liquidations have shifted. Now the liquidations are accumulating between 113,600 and 114,400, and that's fine. It's good that they're accumulating, but the competition to enter long positions at this level is also high. And I'm wondering if it's even going to be worth it, because what's the point of pushing the market to the liquidation level if it's just a lot of people want to enter a position, and I have doubts whether, even if we get there, it will be a good level to buy, because it's right on the edge of profitability. Maybe a slightly smaller move to 115,300, it's hard to say, so there's no clear indicator here. On the upside, though, it's clearly 118,400 or 119, but those are just around, not quite the ATH. So I absolutely can't imagine, as I often say on this show, that this level won't get cleared out. 118,400, 119. I'm almost certain that these stop outs have to get triggered here, so holding long positions, or even opening new long positions now, or if someone doesn't have any, entering on a small pullback at 115,300 or 116, and then closing them. Taking profit around 119 makes a lot of sense, or alternatively, opening short positions at 119, depending on your approach to these levels. But as you can see, these levels are definitely working. What I've been telling you is proving true, and it worked the same way on ETH. Let's take a look at what happened a week ago with it. Here, I primarily pointed out the 4,500 level as a potential strong support resulting from those liquidations. And the market kept moving toward those levels despite the initial spike, but it definitely tested that level, so this pattern also proved accurate. And let's see how it looks in the coming week. And now it's heading down. Now there will be a huge temptation here, listen, because it's very close to those 4,484 levels where there are massive liquidations around those levels and very little competition. So this level in quotation marks, of course, has to be cleared out. But the area around 4,400 also looks very appealing. So pushing the market down to 4,400 or 4,485 looks very tempting, and I would be surprised if that didn't happen. And on the upside, well, here the situation is interesting because there are massive liquidations at 4,686 from 4,640 to 4,700, huge liquidation levels. But there's also already quite a bit of supply building up. Well, I would bet that this level will also play a role here, especially as resistance. I don't know if the market will necessarily aim for that level and be drawn to it like a magnet. As you know, I'm rather a proponent of a bull market and believe the market is moving upward. So I think that level should actually attract like a magnet, and it's a good level for closing long positions. Absolutely. And that's all for today's episode. Thank you for your attention and see you next week.